At times, you need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. That is, if you want to experience true growth. Those are the words of Derrick Rose, D Rose, the one and only, here at the Nasdaq. A special business conversation coming up with the youngest player to ever win an NBA MVP. You're in the Enterprise Zone at the Nasdaq. Hello everyone, it's Jabari Young, senior writer at Forbes, and I am here at the Nasdaq MarketSite. And I just told you we have a special guest, fresh off of having his jersey retired in Chicago, the one and only Derrick Rose, D Rose, right here back in New York, man. Well, you played for such a long time, man. Welcome to the Nasdaq, Derrick.
Man, happy to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you coming, man. Thank you. And you did it in the snow, man. All the snow falling, you still came from Chicago all the way out here.
Yes, sir. Only right to Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, you look good, man. Congratulations, man. You know, again, former NBA MVP, youngest to ever do it.
Yes, sir.
And former Bull, right? Pistons.
I went everywhere.
Everywhere, man. And here back in New York, played with the Knicks, man. Again, having your jersey removed, retired in Chicago, only the 5th player to have his jersey there.
Yes, sir.
Still feeling a bit emotional from that night?
A little bit, but at the same time, I'm very high off of, or I'm feeling high off the emotions and just feeling grateful that I was in a position where Michael, Pip, Rob, Matt, so many great players before me, so many great put in work before me, and the rich history of the franchise. Just fortunate to be here and fortunate to be in the shoes now, man.
Yeah, man, I got this crazy thing. I wake up in the middle of the night if I can't sleep, and I just start working. Yeah. And last night I went and I rewatched your ceremony, man, and kind of brought a tear to my eye because I was a long-time Bulls fan because it's Chicago Michael Jordan, right? And so you resurrected that city, you resurrected that franchise, man.
I appreciate
so if you had to describe the word or the night in one word, what word would that be?
I mean, it's inscrutable. It's hard to explain, but at the same time, I'm happy that we got it done. I'm past it. It wasn't never about me. It was always about like my family members, my friends, everybody that watched the games, all my friends in China, Ni Hao, I appreciate it. And that was obsessed with how I played. We created a synergy, or we created something that we're still living on to this day, and we're in the Rafters right now.
Yeah, I love it, man. Does it still feel surreal? I mean, I saw you before the jersey went in the Rafters when you had that moment by yourself and you was just touching it and just kind of getting that feel for it, man.
Yeah, just let me know God is real.
Yeah.
Like I always wanted to make it. I didn't know that I was gonna make it to my hometown team. I know I was gonna go #1, and let alone get my jersey in the Raptors. So that's like the cherry on top.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Well, listen, we're here at the Nasdaq. You got to give me a stock, right? What has Derrick Rose worked? What has worked for you so well, or what you looking at buying, man? Give me a stock.
I mean, right now, I would have to keep things practical and stay in, say, precious metals, silver, gold. I'm collecting myself, so I'm collecting a lot of silver right now, and I always collected gold, but to keep things practical, silver, gold, copper, things for AI.
Yeah, gold hitting all-time highs, man. You got to definitely buy that. So listen, what's your soundtrack to 2026? Like so far, still fresh in the year, what has been keeping you motivated, creative? Like I know you want to enter that business lane, man. What's been your go-getter music?
I would say Bob Marley. It's always been my go-getter music. He's like a prophet to me. I always listen to him before games, and before I came out here, I thought I was gonna actually have a ceremony or do a dance in the ceremony with Bob music playing, but
you can do it now if you want.
No, hell no. No, but Bob, of course, because of what he stood for, and he was a rebel.
Nice. I love that. So listen, man, you walk into a 5th grade class, right? They all know who you are, 5th grade. Oh, D Rose.
Oh, what's up? Yeah.
And you're done playing ball, and one says, "Hey, what are you doing now, Mr. Rose? What do you do? What do you tell this 5th grade class that you do right now that you're done basketball?"
I'm a businessman now. I would tell them that I'm doing exactly what your parents are doing right now. I'm trying to take care of the family, trying to build the infrastructure, trying to just add to the legacy or build the legacy in my case. I'm building the legacy, something to pass down to my kids, something that's about growth, something that's authentic. And the legacy part is adding or conflating all that together to come up with what you see right now. And that's the reason why you have me on here right now. Some of the ideas, being creative, ideating on some of the things that we've been working on, and creating what our ecosystem could be one day, or trying to see what it could be one day.
Yeah, I love it, man. Listen, before obviously we got on camera, I was telling you that a good friend of mine and Ed Pinky called him up. I said, man, you got to tell me, like, what makes D Rose so special? Ed, you've been around him all those years.
Yes, sir.
He said, Jabari, I just can't explain it. He's unbelievable. I mean, you have glowing references. I call scouts all around the NBA and people who have known you, and they all say nice things about you. So sometimes I'm looking for that thing. It's like, all right, somebody tell me something bad about the man, right? I could not find it, right? And Pink, he's just saying, you know, he is unbelievable. And we talked about you reading Ben Carson's book years ago. When you look at your journey as a whole, would you agree with that word, that it's just been an unbelievable journey?
Yeah, it's been unreal. Knowing where I was at and the growth part, wanting to make a transformation, knowing that in the beginning I was a young kid, I was a young man, I didn't know anything about being a mastermind, I didn't know anything about being, or even wanting to master anything. And once I understood that now I'm in the stage of being 37, and I put in a lot of years, and now it's time to restart everything or revamp everything. And I had a hell of a start. Basketball was just one factor, or it was one stage. Now the second stage, it's about really showing who I am creatively. I felt like basketball was handicapping me in a way. I didn't have anything wrong with arrested development as far as me thinking about certain things and me wanting to actually express my way in a certain way. And I had to wait 15, 16 years to do so, but I feel like now it's time.
Yeah, and patience is a virtue, man.
Yes,
absolutely.
Sir.
Well, listen, when you build your business empire, right, you got your nice headquarters in your office. I would imagine this right here would be on the coffee table, right? The PoohPrint,
yes, sir.
Right? This is your book, just came out.
Yes, sir.
I had a chance to look at this thing earlier, man, you know, the PDF version. I didn't know it was this big, but thank you for this. This is great. But I'm looking at the photos, man, and phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Yourself and Scoop Jackson, man. And I shed a tear. Right? I mean, because again, a long-time Bulls fan, I'm looking at some of these photos, and then the one where you're laying on the floor after that injury.
Yes, sir.
I was a Sixers fan, but I was cheering for the Bulls in that series.
I heard.
And I'm yelling like, what the hell is he doing back in the game?
Yeah.
But it's taking me down memory lane, man. And it's like, man, it's so emotional, you know, just the ride that you've been through, man. Take me inside of the PoohPrint and what people are going to expect when they go buy this book at a Barnes & Noble.
So shout out to Scoop Jackson. I've been knowing Scoop for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever since high school, and we built a relationship on and off the court. He was just always around. So, and shout out to my team. My wife and I, we're collectors of Aspirations. We feel like they have the best books in the world, and I read a lot of books. I collect. I'm building my library, and we decided to come up with, or see if we could collab with them to come up with something great, or come up with a family book, or something like a crest that we could keep in our house. And when people see it, they know that we like actually collabed with like a great company. So we reached out to them and they agreed. And at the time, we was the first basketball players to come up with something, but somehow MJ got in before us. But at the time, we was the first basketball players to reach out to them. They agreed, and it made me want to, I had to start thinking about the name. So we ideated on a bunch of names, and I thought about the PoohPrint, where when you think about a blueprint or anything to a building or anything, you got strategy, or you want to just get your ideas off the ground, you got to start off with a blueprint, or people want to see that if people want to invest, if you want people to invest in you. So once I came up with the name, it just made me think about like everything that was put into the book, the storytelling with Scoop Jackson. We went through every process as far as being meticulous about and strategic about every story, every picture, and how can we implement it all together so that it comes together really, really beautiful. We came up with the front of the book by just taking a pic, and I'm like, man, I love the silhouette. I thought I only had like 5 or 10 pictures of myself like throughout my whole life that my mom only had of me. But once we started like the process of the book, come to find out, I had like 50 to 100 pics of myself. So it was things that I didn't even see, or pictures that I didn't even see myself as like a kid, or just after school or after championships where we went in. We had a lot of pictures that came in and a lot of pictures that we didn't use. So thank you to everybody that sent in pics, my family, my cousins, my Dre, everybody, because I think this can be something special, and everybody that wrote in the book, because I didn't get a chance to read the messages in the book. My son, my friends, everybody wrote personal letters to me. I didn't get a chance yet. So thanks to everybody.
When do you plan on, and are you going to do it alone, just taking the time out and just going through it by yourself, man?
Yeah, probably when I get done with my book, because I'm reading 2 books right now, and I don't want to overlook what I'm doing. So, and I want to keep my routine. So I'll probably get a time after I read my.
Do you need to get it out of your system? Like, you know what, let me just let this sit for a little bit. It just happened. My jersey just got retired before I go. Because again, Derrick, man, you're going to shed a tear or two when you read this thing, man. I mean, just the photos alone, because, you know, I was there. I saw a lot of this. And it's like, man, your journey, you know, you're the average everyday guy. So people relate to you so much, right? And so, like, you're going to shed a tear.
No, for sure. Hell yeah. I mean, I cry every day, Jabari. Every day, bro. It's not a day that I don't cry or a tear don't come down from me knowing where I come from. Yeah. And me realizing that, like I said, I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at. So take advantage.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Well, listen, diving into this book, your dad, you know, I always usually start these off, and I forgot I did it, but I have a daughter, right? A 12-year-old daughter. When you write this book, are you gonna maybe share that moment with your kids as well? Like, you go through it by yourself, share that memories, but maybe sit them on a couch and flip through the pages and maybe get deeper with the stories?
Probably, but at the same time, I tend to do that every day at some point throughout the day with them. But they love pictures. Kids now love pictures. It was more of me just trying to hit every facet or every market where we got books, we have jerseys, we have shoes, we have slime, we have AI, we have construction. It's like chess. We have so many verticals that we have. It's all about putting it out strategically so we're not overlapping one another. Yeah.
Well, you had the jersey, you had the book. The statue's next, right? Right outside of the United States. Right outside, right where Jordan's is.
No knock D-Wade. I saw that statue. I'm good.
No, come on, man. You need a statue outside of Chicago, man. So if they say we want you to build your statue, you gonna say no?
You could do the statue of a family crest, but I don't want no statue of myself. I feel like that's idolizing in a way, and I don't want nobody to idolize me.
Yeah, I respect that, man. Well, listen, out with the old D-Rose, in with the new, right? What is Derrick Rose like in business, man? Here we are in 2026, and I kept hearing that same word as time went on. Like, I want to switch to a businessman. I want to think about business. What do you like in business? What can people expect?
I mean, I'm very open. I feel like being in the position that I'm in, because I don't like saying the word boss, but as being a leader, I feel like I'm very open. I listen to people. I know what I want. I study. I get knowledge or do my due diligence before I invest into a company, or I listen to my team before I invest. And sometimes it's just a feel. Like, if I feel like I want to invest and I feel like I got the itch for something, I'll just do it. Then my team has to follow.
Yeah. Well, listen, going into it, beautiful articles written on you in The Athletic, and I noticed 2 sectors that you're interested in, the technology and construction, right?
Yes.
Why technology? What's getting your interest there? I know the world is crazy right now with AI and Gen AI and all those things.
You jumping ahead right now, Jabari. But yeah, I would say technology is because right now, because I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away. But knowing that it's a space that need to be filled. And with me being from Chicago and everybody that's on the team being from Chicago, and the guy that's doing the app, for him being from impoverished area, we're all on the same page as far as helping the kids. When you think about helping the kids, you think about reading. You see that reading is down 40% right now. You see that kids, if they don't know how to read, it's an easy pipeline to jail. You see how if kids don't know how to read, they have no empathy. Empathy comes from hearing people's perspective, other people's perspective. Right. And for my case, sometimes when I heard about that, or when I learned that, it made me think about the kids in Chicago. The reason why they don't care for one another in the way is probably reading. Yeah.
That's the common denominator,
if you think about it.
Yeah. What about construction, right? I know you're looking into that as well. Yeah. Construction is a field that I can see you in, man. Going around, building, doing a lot of development, real estate, homes and things. What's getting your eye in construction?
So when you think about construction, you think about beautifying Chicago. You think about on the south side where I'm from, in Inglewood, it still looks the same way. And every time I used to drive back, come in town and drive through my neighborhood, I used to shed a tear because it still looks the same way. So it made me think man, if anything is going to change, it's going to have to be us changing it.
That's right.
So I have a flower shop. I have construction in which we're working on the 1901 project. The 1901 project is the project in Chicago where they're building up the west side of Chicago. They putting $7 billion into the project, and it's probably the biggest project there since the World Fair.
Yeah, and you're an investor in that project?
No, we'll be working on the project.
Okay.
Yeah, not
As a construction company?
Exactly.
Wow. So you got the contract.
Listen, in the second phase, we're hoping to get in on the second phase, but I can't say too much about that.
No, I respect that business.
Exactly.
That's huge. That's huge.
Man, who you telling? So yeah, construction. Then you think about chess. I got the chess league too, where we have the 24 best players in the world. Magnus Carlsen, the #1 player in the world.
Yeah.
It's called freestyle chess. I partner with Jan, Thomas, Jason, and Magnus to invest in freestyle chess, but at the same time, I have my own paradigm inside freestyle chess called Chestival. Well, I leased to them for 3 years. Chestival, I could do anything with it. Next year, we're probably going to be at MSG or the Hulu Theater with the event. We just did Vegas this last year, and outside of that, we have flowers.
Yeah.
I have a flower business. I'm utilizing my name, Rose, and it's a family business that I just started online. I partner with a great partner that's been around for 140 years in the business, and they're giving me a lot of knowledge and creating something that my family, they have a safe haven, but at the same time, they understand that if they go out and do whatever they want to do, or just say something drastic, something happened to them detrimental, they always got a place they can come back and work.
Yeah, I love that. You sound like Isaiah Thomas, man. You know, another Chicago.
That's my guy.
Yeah, man. But Isaiah would build his businesses, and he would say, "Look, my family can come, they can work here. I'm not paying them. They can work off the debt that I'm paying for their college, right? And then after 6 months, if you work that off,
Yes, sir.
then we'll start to pay." And I love that system that he put in place with his own family, right?
Yes, sir.
Setting up that type of structure. But
sir.
staying on the construction front a little bit, right? Because again, that's a massive field.
Yes,
Houses, are you interested in that as well? I mean, you going and doing other development and things of that nature?
So right now, that's where the stage that we're in right now. We're going to get in on the development part, but we have to do our job by getting the knowledge. So me and my friend, we're going to take a class for a year on the west side where they're doing the development. Take a class for a year so that...
A real estate class?
Yeah, real estate class. Whatever they want us to do, we're going to do it so that we do our job and let them know that it's important to us. And my son plays over there now. Like, I'm a South Sider, but I'm over West a lot now. So yeah, I'm really trying to help, give, and employ in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and the freestyle chess, I never learned how to play chess, Derrick. You got to teach me, man. I don't know how to do it, but I see that's Left Lane Capital was a venture capital firm. It's $20 million raised back in June 2025. So you're an investor in freestyle chess. I love that. And I saw that you guys, upped the jackpot a little bit.
Exactly. But that's why I dived into chess, is because once I got in, I started to realize that there wasn't any money in it.
Yeah.
I hear kids all the time talking about they go on trips, or the parents talk about they get to take their kids to DC or whatever, $1,500, $2,000 trip. You only win a certificate after you get done.
Right.
So it's like, man, how can we put cash in these kids' pockets? Reached out to Jan, reached out to Jason, and we did that. But my interest in chess came from me doing the due diligence of figuring out chess prevented Alzheimer's or dementia. The guy that started the S&P 500, the index, is one of the guys that started the chess league that's in St. Louis right now.
Yeah.
The headquarters of chess is in St. Louis, and the guy that started the S&P 500, one of the pioneers of the S&P 500, started it.
Yeah. It's so funny. I know a businesswoman, her name is Jenny Just, and she uses poker to teach young girls poker, but she still feels as though if you teach them poker, they'll master the boardroom. Is there any business pillar that you take or parallel that you take that you say, hey, learning chess can help you in business or in basketball?
Yeah. I mean, it's in every facet. I'll tell a short story. So there in India, the king of India tells the minister, hey, can you create a game that shows every person in the kingdom is important? He said, we don't got a game like that now. He goes and he figures out, or he creates a game within a couple of months. He comes back and it's called Chaturanga. So once he started that game, the chess board or the chess game in itself shows the importance of every piece. No matter if you're the pawn all the way to the king or queen, you play a huge part. And I feel like that in business, no matter who you are, the camera guy, whoever it is, from the guy downstairs, security, everybody played a huge part in order for us to come up here and talk to one another.
That's right.
So everybody is as important as the other person. So with me knowing that, with me playing chess, I seen that it was a lot of parallels, but at the same time, I'm a realist, I'm practical. chess is only a game. Life is real life.
Yeah, most definitely. And in the flower business, I love what you said. You know, you have 3 pillars of a rose, and for you, it's growth, legacy, being authentic is what represents that flower shop for you. Why flowers? Because I even text Ed Pinkney before we talked. I said, man, what would you ask him? He says, why the flower shop business? You know?
Me not understanding the aspects of knowing, like I was looking at my name, I was listening to my name, I was observing my name, but I didn't respect it. So with me retiring and with me looking straight in front of me, most of the time your answers are right in front of you. Chess is right in front of me. Roses is right in front of me, but I never looked at it that way until I wanted to separate myself from my peers. None of my peers, they're not selling flowers. I'm utilizing my name, and I'm respecting my name alone.
Yeah, most definitely. Revenue for florists in the U.S., right, is expected to reach $9.8 billion this year, right? And 1-800-Flowers, they made $663 million. So, and this is from IBIS World Research Industry. Florists that invest in expertise, personalization, and rare exotic blooms will stand out apart from mass retailers. That is the executive summary about the florist business in the U.S. But again, you run the flower shop. Is there a big positive surprise of running a flower business that you didn't know? Positive surprise?
I would say being the challenge is being creative. Like right now, the industry, you have a lot of people that do sell flowers, but how can you separate yourself by being creative? So within my flower shop, we're going to have a lottery system where you buy into the shop, not rewards, I'm talking about, or coupons. I'm talking about a real lottery system where you buy into it and you may get $250 back. A scavenger hunt on every 15th, like the 1st and 15th. 4 parts of the city put out flowers, bouquets with $500, $1,000 in them. So create the excitement on every 15th. I got to go looking, or I may find some. We do the lottery thing on the 25th, the 25, Benji, I was just telling you about Simeon. So we made correlations with the school, the flower shop, and with the workshops that we're doing inside of the flower shop. So we're partnering with schools to teach kids how to preserve flowers, how to cut flowers, how to come in, and you seeing the businesses being ran as you're on a field trip. You're seeing people buying flowers, you're seeing flowers come in with workers, you're seeing the whole totality of the business as a kid. And that's why I wanted, that's how I see it, and that's how it's going to be ran.
Yeah. How about the biggest negative surprise of running the flower shop? Something that you didn't know, negative surprise?
I would say the farming side. Like right now, we're doing limited drops, and it's only because we have to get the data first before we go into the market, not trying to exploit the market with like huge numbers. So once we get the data and get the numbers back to the farms, that's when I think we'll be at a great place. But with me coming in and being a layman, it's like, all right, we got to figure out where you're at. So like we've been dropping each Sunday, like it's been like major drops, but it's only to get the data, get the numbers, then be more efficient.
Yeah, well, you got a huge holiday coming up, man. Are y'all ready for this?
No, we'll be ready. Sure, we'll be ready, but we're trying to get content with that. So content, unique content, of course, we want family and everybody in there, but we're shooting the content too. We're not doing this with like a huge brand.
Yeah.
It's me, my wife, my business partners, Rand, Maddie, and Art, WMG, my agency. It's been us, Carlisle, Adam, guys that work for Apple, like a small team of guys that's been working. I give them my ideas and they figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on you too, man, because now you own your own flower shop. Your wife is gonna be expecting these bouquets that are out of this world. And if they are anything, if your customer has a better than one, you're in trouble, man. You know what I mean?
Might get kicked out the crib.
You might get kicked out of the crib, or at least sleep outside for a night, right? Let's definitely do that. You know, listen, as you transition more into business, man, people may want to, take a visit down memory lane in your backstory.
Yes, sir.
What was it like for you, right fast, growing up in Inglewood, Chicago, man? What did you learn from your mom, Brenda, and your brothers, Wayne, at the top that you plan on applying to the business world?
It was tough growing up. I saw a lot of nefarious things. I saw ruffians act certain ways or just be regular, just in their own environment. I grew up in that environment. So for me, I saw hustling all around me. My mom, she worked her butt off. My brothers, they worked their butt off. But the real hustling that I seen came from in the streets. So it was a guy named Ian Nate. They were twins. They ended up getting fed time, or they ended up getting called by the feds. One of the twins, they said in our neighborhood, like he fell off. But he was selling, like he used to play games, but he used to work the court, sell juices, sell pops, sell chips, candy, or whatever it is. And I used to hear all the time with people used to laugh at him because he fell off. And some people eyes, but that was their perspective. In my mind, I saw that he put his ego to the side at a young age, and he was still out here doing whatever it takes to get back on top. So I saw the hustle. When people used to talk like that, I didn't say anything about it, like, no, you tweaking. But in my mind, I'm like, no, I see it different. Like, he's in every facet of the playground. Like, you look up, he's helping everybody. Yeah. He's serving whatever it is. So that hustling always put in my mind, or me seeing that, it kind of formed me to like, all right, I got to work harder, or I got to get in a position where if I do have adversity, that I'm not like that, or I'm not going to stop working.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I know basketball, that was instilled in you since the 3rd grade, right? But, is there any cartoons or something you watching on Sunday? Like, tell me, what was a regular D Rose like, eating Cheerios on a Sunday morning before ball?
Yeah, a lot of cartoons. Every cartoon you could think of. My uncle used to call me in the room to see if I would miss the names of cartoons. So I watched Flintstones, I watched The Simpsons, I watched all the Saved by the Bell. I watched all that.
Saved by the Bell. Yeah. Did you have a crush on Lisa too?
No.
Oh, come on, man. We all had a crush on Lisa. We had
I was young. I was a little young then when I was watching Saved by the Bell. I was watching the rerun. Y'all watched every cartoon. Arthur, like Hey Arnold, all that.
Yeah, man, I love it. So listen, first of all, Flintstones, I try to show my daughter that, and she doesn't understand it. She's like, why are they running around with their feet on? I gave up. I gave up, man. But as you transition in your life, you pick University of Memphis, right? Why did you pick that school? Out of all the schools that you probably could have had, you're picking a little. Why University of Memphis?
I picked it because of the team. The team, we was an older team. The coach, Cal, he believed in me. He tricked my mom to get me down there. Once I got down there, he was on me, but I really picked it because of the team. We had the older team, and the only spot that they was missing was a point guard. That's the only spot that they were missing. I felt like they had everything else. So when I went there, I seen how close they were. No matter we was in a small town, I didn't really care about that. When I went there, they treated me as little bro already, and that's what I loved about the team. Yeah,
I love that. Did you get a chance to hit the chicken spot, Gus's, when you were out there? You had to go to Gus's, man, right?
You have to. Chicken, right? No beer, man.
Yeah, it's a tradition. You have to go to Gus's, man. I heard you on the podcast, and you were talking and discussing, pure point guards. Yeah. And kind of talking about how you didn't really favor scoring until you got to the NBA, right? You were always the assist guy, the distributor. And I love that, because covering the Spurs for all those years, I learned that the point guard is the extension of the coach, right? And so on that court, you are looking at the coach. Tony Parker, Greg Popovich had that dynamic, and I believe you and Tibbs had that dynamic as well. Pure point guards. What is the definition of a pure point guard in 2026, being as though the game has changed so much?
I feel like someone now you have to do a little bit of both, but now you see players like a Trey or a Luka, or like now you got when I came in, it was okay to have like single digit assists. Can't do that anymore. You got to be double digit, and you got to score along with that. So when I first came in, I could score a little bit, but my whole goal was to try to fit in. You got to remember, coming in, when I came in, it was like the quarterback position. Like, you had to manage the game. You had time management.
Right.
You had to get everybody organized on the floor. Like you said, you the extension of the coach. You had to get the guys the ball in their right spots. If you're not doing that, you're not going to play. They're going to be on your. So I'm coming in, I'm having to adjust to everything, and just the intellect of it. I was explaining this yesterday, that people don't think about that only with like quarterbacks, but the point guard position is the same thing in the NBA. You got to come in, you got to know every play. It ain't no pick and roll. When I first came in, wasn't no pick and roll and all that, like at every play. So you have to learn every spot, time every spot, so that if I'm early on this play, Lou is going to be late on that play. So Tibbs is going to think it's Lou. Tibbs is yelling at Lou, but Lou is yelling at me, slow the down, Rook. You're going too fast. You're making me look like I'm messing up. So I'm having to learn this as I come in, and I feel like I did a great job with that, but they don't talk about that. They talk about the athletics.
Yeah, no, I talk about it, because a couple of my favorite pure point guards. I mean, you talk about, Andre Miller, who I don't think it gets enough.
That's a fact.
Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, and White Chocolate. My man Jay Williams, man, out in Sacramento, man. I mean, he was something special with the ball. But I love that pure point guard vision, because you don't see it enough. Guys who really take control of running the game as a quarterback. That preparation. Do you want people, investors, or people who are looking to do business with you, do you want them to know, look, if I do business with D Rose, I know he's going to be prepared dating back from his time playing ball?
Yeah, just know I'm not going to be flustered. That's what I want. I'm not going to be flustered. I'm very persistent with what I want. I'm a hard worker. It's two things that I'm not scared of. It's a butt whooping and hard work. Something I've been working my entire life. I always look for knowledge, not information. I always gain the knowledge, and I always ask questions. So what Voltaire said, you judge a man by his questions. So I ask a lot of questions.
I hope I'm asking good questions. Listen, man, ready to wrap up here, get into your portfolio and get you out of here some fun stuff. But, you look at your career as a whole, man, again, and congrats, Derrick, seriously, on the journey, man. It's been really, really exciting watching you, following your journey, and the respect that you get from your peers, man, is unmatched. And so when you look back as a whole, and again, it's a life you're ready to leave behind, focus on business, describe your career in one word. Think about Murray. Think about Simeon. Think about when you was beating your cousin with the left hand and your brother was sitting there smiling on the court, right? Think about all of that. From you coming up in Chicago and you learning the game through your brother's vision, looking at his teammates come through the house and knowing that's what you want to be, getting there, seeing your jersey retired, now it's all over. When you look back, what can you say one word to describe it?
Winner.
I love it. Why winner?
I feel like I won. I feel like once I came in, I have no regrets, first off, none, no regrets at all. I feel like I maxed out. I feel like I won 11 championships. Like I have no regrets. Every day that I prep for games, even after my injuries, I gave so much to this game. As far as prepping for games, for 10 minutes, for 8 minutes that I was playing at the end, I did everything. And to go from that, from the injuries to where I'm at right now, I feel like that's a dub, because most people would have stopped my career at probably year 4 or 5. If I didn't listen to myself, not a doctor, not the team. If I didn't listen to myself, that would have stopped year 5 or 6. But with me listening to myself and being patient, I got to year 15 or 16. That's a win. I adjusted my game. I came in as a driver. I came in as athletic, and by the end of my career, I hit 40% from the 3 2 or 3 times. That's called adapting. That's all I wanted to show by the end of my career, was that I adapted. I changed my game, just like how every athletic player comes in. By the end, they're jump shooters, and that's all I wanted to do. And by then, if you look at my record and all that, I wanted to show you that I was a winner.
Yeah. I love that, man. Listen, along your journey too, again, we talked about guys who I believe you trusted to tell your story the right way, the accurate way. I know a lot of athletes got podcasts now, but I'm an OG. I still have respect for the OGs of the world. So when I mention these names, Derrick, it's a few writers. I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind for you. Guys who I felt like shared your story accurately, and to start off the top in Chicago with royalty with Sam Smith. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of him?
Family.
Love it. Wrote the Jordan rules, got Sam Smith. He's family.
Family. Keep him over the crib. I mean,
he was over your house?
No, he come over like a few months ago. I told we were doing another book.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure I come over your house too. Okay. Mike Wilbon.
Oh, OG. Respect OG. Like, damn. One word.
Or 2. You D Rose, man. I gotta give you that.
Yeah, man. I would have to say just love. Every time I seen Mike, he showed so much love, man, and still to this day fall for me. Every time somebody said something, he stood up. So thank you, OG.
Yeah. Scoop Jackson obviously helped you put together the PoohPrint. Scoop Jackson.
I would have to say creative genius. Yes.
Yeah.
And how he got me to get those stories out. It made me sing. We did it with ease.
Yeah. David Aldridge. That's my OG.
That's my man, bro. Dave, I would have to say professional. Yes, super professional. Every time I seen Dave, and I met him early on, I'm saying, he never forced me to answer or ask me questions that he knew I wasn't capable of answering. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, most definitely. Mark Spears,
Bay Area. I would say jovial. I would say love. I would say family too, because he cool with BJ too. So always made sure that he gave me some type of input or some type of knowledge whenever I did USA basketball, talking to the press.
Yeah, Vinny Goodwill. You just talked about him from Detroit.
Yeah, Vinny, great friend, knowledgeable, truthful. Like every time I talked to him, I used to tell him that I didn't want to hear certain things because some of the times he told me who said I didn't want to hear it. So yeah.
Vinny, love that. What's Derrick Rose's biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure, that's a great question.
I asked a good question.
No, that's a great question. My biggest failure, I will have to say not going back to college. And that's only because I feel like I let my mom down by not doing that. I promised her that, but to be honest, I don't think I am. I felt like I got the knowledge in my own way. I felt like I built my team the way that I was supposed to build my team. And everybody's life and journey is different. So with me saying I wanted to go to college, it was more of me fitting the cookie cutter mode.
Yeah. Would you advise young kids now if they feel that same way?
Of course. I mean, seek knowledge however you see it. But for my journey, I can only specifically speak for me. For me, God surrounded people around me so that it made my trip or made my path a little easier.
Getting to your portfolio right fast, man. Any missed investment opportunity that you still regret? Something that somebody bought to you a long time ago and you're looking, it's like, man, why did I do that?
I wouldn't say invest, but I had a chance to bring Chick-fil-A to Chicago, or be the first to bring Chick-fil-A to Chicago.
What happened?
I told my financial advisor at the time, it was not one there. It was right after I got done playing, and it was one in Memphis. I was a huge Chick-fil-A fan, like guy in Memphis. I told my advisor what was going on and what was going on down south. She didn't understand it. A year or 2 years after that, Chick-fil-A was downtown Chicago, and now it's
right wrapped around the block.
But investments, I'm invested in a lot. I'm invested in a lot of businesses, but as far as like right now, I can't call out any that's like crazy.
Yeah. What's the craziest investment somebody bought to you that you're glad you didn't invest in?
Oh, it's a lot. it's a lot. I hear a lot of those, but like I said, my team is good. I'm signed with DLA Pipers.
Yeah.
So they do a great job.
But what do you want to personally see in a business pitch? Like, what is somebody bringing in? What do you want to see?
No, I told you, sometimes it depends on the person. Like, I invested in Slumu. It's a slime company that's like, and I mean, it's everywhere now, but my financial team, they wanted better numbers, but it was me, it was off a field, and it's doing good so far.
Nice.
So it was something that I chose, and I went against them, and they see that I chose something good.
It's a slime company?
Yes,
like the slime that kids play with?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Where is it sold at?
Everywhere. Here, New York, LA, we're UK now, so everywhere.
Next time, bring some slime too.
Okay.
Slime too, yeah. Man.
Slumu, check it out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Any other interest? Crypto? Are you interested in that?
I haven't gotten into crypto yet.
You don't like
That's
it?
the only, not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm more old school when it comes to investing. So that like other people go crypto, I'm going precious metals.
Yeah.
So like I said, silver, whatever it is, I'll rather get that.
Yeah. Car dealerships. Jamal Mashburn got a whole bunch of them. Any
heard.
restaurants?
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jamal Mashburn too. I watch him from afar.
Yeah. Well, listen, start some car dealerships. You're right there, man.
No, him, Karl Malone. It's a lot of guys that's in it.
Yeah. Well, listen, as we wrap up, man, name your empire in one word. What does you want Derrick Rose's empire to be? After when you're ready to pass it on to your kids, what do you want that
Opulent.
one word? What's
Opulent.
that? Opulent. Why opulent?
Yeah, lavish. I feel like my lifestyle is that. I feel like everything I'm into is lavish, and I built my way up to have this lifestyle. And yeah, opulent and opulence.
Yeah. I always like to go to LinkedIn, man, a platform. You on LinkedIn?
No, but my flower shop will be on.
Yeah, you gotta get on LinkedIn. All the business people are there.
I heard.
But I went there and I said, I got Derrick Rose coming to the Nasdaq. What would you ask him, right? And
what was
one brother posed, his name is Shane Stone. He says, looking back, what decision off the court had the biggest impact on your life? What would you do differently if you were starting today? I almost asked you that question with the college, but is any other decision?
No, bro. I listened to myself, man. If I didn't listen to myself or didn't know that, like, who I was or know my value, that I would have been like your typical hooper. But I left a year left on my contract. Like most guys wouldn't have done that. I never been scared to be uncomfortable. I never been scared to chase my dreams. And that's what I want to show right now, the creative side. I want to be able to sit back and people be like, man, how I never thought that he would like be into or be interested or intrigued by some of the things that he's invested in. And I want people to ask questions about that.
Yeah, I love that. And he had a follow-up. He says, is Rose Flower Shop in NYC on the roadmap? Because NYC fans want to know, is Roses coming here to New York?
Yeah, I mean, we're online right now nationwide. We got 14 locations nationwide. But I'm talking about as far as like where I buy from to be able to sell it. But we're doing pop-ups everywhere. So we have a pop-up in Chicago that we did twice. We're taking it nationwide, and we're going to go to China too.
Yeah.
I have a huge fan base in China.
Yeah, yes you do, man. Well, you got to come to New York. You got to go to Philly, right? Okay. You got to go to New York. You got to do that, man. Hey, listen, get you out of here on some fun stuff, man. I think I know how you made your first $1 million. I feel like I made it. How did you spend your first $1 million? You remember what you spent your first $1 million on? What was it?
I don't know if it was $1 million, but I bought my mom, my brother's houses. I got me a Range Rover, a house. I got my teeth done, and that was pretty much it. But I got everybody houses. My first, probably my first million.
How's the Range Rover, man? I heard they break down, and I wanted a car like a Range Rover, but I get too much problems.
I'm in the minivan now, so.
Minivan, you can tell you're a dad, man. I love that, man. Yeah, you can tell you're a dad. When you look at the NBA today, what does Derrick Rose see from afar?
I see a very skilled league. I see a very great product. I see that it's progressing in the right way, and that's all I can ask for. I feel like when you're an OG or you in the position I am and you try to step away, you want to feel like you left the game in a great place, and I feel like me and my team did that.
Yeah, most definitely. Top AI app you using? What's the best AI app you use right now?
Top AI app, I would have to say Gemini.
Oh man, that's fast, man. Yeah. You gotta look into Claude, man. Claude is something that's powerful. Yeah, Claude is really, really good. And they have their own little AI constitution clause, so you don't go outside of that. It's really, really interesting.
All right, thanks for telling me.
No problem, man. Biggest money management advice. What would you tell young kids that are coming up in the draft soon, man, or getting on their contract about managing money?
It may be cliche, but when I came in, every OG told me this. It ain't about what you make, it's about what you save.
I love that. Are you one of those ones who, saved your game checks and only spend the endorsements?
No, I wasn't making that much back then, so I was doing both. I was going back and forth, but I saved pretty well to be where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely save. Look around the world, right? What country does D Rose invest in right now outside of the U.S.?
If I could invest in a country,
or continent,
I would say Africa.
Everybody picks Africa.
I would say Africa, or I took my high school team to Senegal and Hong Kong, but I would say Africa because, of course, precious metals, but at the same time, the land, and with you seeing that how young the country is. So if you got a product and you want a young fan base or a young crowd to grow with your product, why not start with a whole country, which is they're going to be probably 30-something, all under 30-something in like 20-something years. So like, why not start with a fresh country like Africa?
Yeah, I love that. Got a clean slate advantage in Africa, right? They don't have to deal with the legacy stuff. They can look at the mistakes around the world and build from there. You talk to people who invest in it, they were doing fintech way before we were. They were already on it. So I love that.
Yeah,
most definitely. 3 books that inspire you to perform your best or motivate you.
The last 3 books that I read was Dick Gregory last book. It's about history. I would say J.A. Rogers, First Value and Second Value. It's about how African Americans, how in certain places they depicted them to be white, but they're actually black. And the third one, I would have to say Northern Trust's financial book.
Love that. Get you out of here on this, man. My final question is Good to Great, right? After Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, told you about it.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between a good flower shop and a great one?
I will start with the great. Let's start with the great, baby. Let's start with the good. The good is what you see right now. The great is what we're curating right now. You never had the flower shop that's going to impact the neighborhood like we're going to impact the neighborhood. You never had the flower shop that have workshops like we're going to have workshops, or do field trips to Ecuador. You're never going to have a flower shop to be in the neighborhood, really getting kids incentives to knock on each door and get $50, $75 a house, agriculture. I feel like that's separating ourselves, and Rose Flowers.
Yeah, I love that, man. Winner, authentic, Adidas legend, right? Even get to talk your sneaker deal and all that good stuff like that. I'm sure that's the only sneaker you'll be wearing the rest of your life, right? Is Adidas, right?
Yeah, right
Adidas,
now.
They took good care of you. Derrick, thank you so much for the time, man. Congrats on a phenomenal career. Congrats on being one of the 5 players to have your jersey in the Rafters in Chicago, man. Such a great feat. And as Luol Deng said, that's the championship that your team won.
Yes,
right, getting you up there,
yes,
Chicago royalty. Got to come back and talk more business, man. Right? Yeah, you're doing some more stuff. I want to know about that contract that you're going to win in Chicago too, man. Definitely appreciate it. Derrick Rose here at the Nasdaq MarketSite, starting off 2026 with a bang. You're in the enterprise zone now. You're leaving the enterprise zone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.